And we're starting with a story that seems simple on the surface, but is actually quite gripping. It's a sporting drama set right in the heart of a community.
Okay, so we open in the town square of Asampaetia. The whole community's gathered for the final match. It's a crucial drafts tournament.
And the setting here is just so important, isn't it? It's under this majestic Mayamadua tree.
Right, and that's not just incidental scenery. The source material makes it really clear
Yeah.
that the tree symbolizes safety, wisdom, spiritual growth. It's like a natural sanctuary where community matters get settled.
So it roots the whole conflict, the whole event,
Yeah.
in this place of established order and meaning.
Precisely. And the stakes reflect that community importance. This isn't just, for fun.
No, it's serious.
The winner needs 3 consecutive wins, apparently a really tough feat in this tournament.
And the prizes,
They're impressive. A special dinner with the leader, travel opportunities on important trips.
which sounds prestigious.
And maybe most importantly from an economic standpoint, especially in a developing community context, exemption from community fees for 2 whole seasons.
Wow, okay. That's significant.
Yeah.
So the conflict driving this.
This is where it gets really interesting. You have Kissiwaa, who's this determined 17-year-old woman, and she's challenging Bediako, the 5-time reigning champion. Seems unbeatable.
And there's pushback.
Oh, absolutely. The source highlights the gender prejudice. The common feeling, especially among Bediako's fans, is that a woman just cannot beat him in this high-stakes, traditionally male game.
So before they even start playing.
Kissiwaa forces a confrontation about the rules of engagement, basically. The tradition involves jesting and insults.
Right, this sort of psychological warfare aspect.
Exactly. But she suggests dropping it. She argues things are changing, and as a young woman, it's not appropriate to trade insults with her elders like that. She's trying to elevate the whole thing.
How does that go down?
Not well.
Yeah.
Bediako and his supporters, they just laugh it off. They say it's just playful, part of the game's culture.
He patronizes her a bit.
Yeah, he promises to get her a handkerchief for when she cries.
Yeah.
Just trying to dismiss her seriousness. So the tension is immediate. She's challenging the game and the tradition.
But she has some support, right? Even if it's quiet.
Yes, crucially. There's Old Soldier. He's a retired military man, commands a lot of respect just by his presence.
Okay.
He's watching, and he's actually dismayed by the insult tradition. He thinks it's damaging the community, especially with kids watching.
So he gets involved.
Covertly, yes. This is key to her success. He secretly gets a relative to pass messages to Kissiwaa.
What kind of messages?
2 things. First, tactical advice. Stay focused, use strategy and skill. Second, moral support. Win or lose, she's already a hero to the girls watching.
Ah, so that helps her block out the noise.
Exactly. It lets her focus purely on the game, on the board.
And does it work? Against the 5-time champ.
Dramatically. Bediako gets an early lead in game 1, feeling confident. But Kissiwaa spots a weakness, something he overlooked. She pulls off this clever surprise move, traps him, captures 2 of his marbles. It just shatters his confidence.
And the crowd's expectations, I bet.
Totally. She keeps up the pressure, wins game 1, then she wins game 2 as well. Suddenly, she's 2-0 up, 1 game from history.
The pressure must be immense then on both of them.
It boils over before game 3. Bediako panics, starts throwing real nasty insults. Kissiwaa, understandably, gets angry and fires back.
So the attempt at reform collapses.
Completely. Old Soldier watches this, dismayed. He mutters about it being the wrong way. The adults just bickering bitterly.
And this leads to the climax.
Yes, the absolute turning point for the whole community.
Yeah.
While the adults are arguing, Bediako's young son, Ababio.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He mimics the disrespect, shouts a mean insult at another kid supporting Kissiwaa.
And that's a huge deal there.
Massive. Using bad language is strictly forbidden for children. The punishment is severe. 10 lashes, a month of isolation.
Wow.
The whole place just freezes. Bediako starts to take his son for the punishment, accepting it's the rule.
But Old Soldier steps in.
Physically blocks their path. He argues really passionately that the child isn't the guilty one here. It's the adults.
He points the finger back at them.
Directly. Says Kissiwaa and Bediako were acting like politicians on TV, setting the exact example of disrespect they're now about to punish the child for.
Oof. That must hit hard.
It's a moment of real collective shame and introspection. The community leaders realize they failed as role models.
So what happens? Do they punish the boy?
No. They agree to handle it internally, address the root cause, the adult's behavior, instead of the public punishment. Bediako and Kissiwaa both publicly admit they were wrong.
That's a big shift.
Huge. So the final game starts, but the atmosphere is completely different. It's played in this profound silence. All about skill, strategy, no more harsh words.
On Kissiwaa.
She keeps her focus, channels that advice from Old Soldier, and wins Game 3. A clean 3-Neo sweep. She becomes Asampaetia's first female drafts champion.
Incredible. So the takeaways, obviously her determination, breaking barriers.
Absolutely. But the deeper insight, I think, is sociological. It's about collective responsibility. Individual triumph is great, but the adults have a duty to be role models.
Right. Good leadership means demonstrating respect, not just demanding it. It validates the Namadua tree symbol, that unifying, guiding presence.
Exactly.
Okay, so that failure of adult role models in Asampaetia really underscores the need for positive influences, for mentorship.
Definitely.
And speaking of role models, our next two stories show individuals using their talents not just for themselves, but to lift their whole community. Let's start with a beacon of light.
This is the story of Osmond. He's a young cowherd in a rural village called Obain. The story opens by really emphasizing his situation.
Poverty, restlessness.
Yeah, walking dusty paths, dreaming of more. And his future prospects seem pretty bleak. After 5 years herding cattle, his payment is just one cow. The nights are quiet, which just seems to amplify his feelings of, wanting more.
But he has something special, right? Music.
His voice, it's described as soaring, emotional. It's his comfort, what keeps his hope alive. And the source even mentions a specific song he sings.
Oh, yeah.
It goes, "Oh, black star, rise above the pain. Lead me to a brighter day where love remains."
Black Star. That's Ghana's national symbol.
Exactly. Hope, pride, freedom. So by weaving that into his personal song of struggle, he's kind of unconsciously linking his own ambition to the nation's destiny. It's quite powerful.
And this talent gets noticed.
Yes, that's the catalyst.
Yeah.
He's singing while tending the cattle, and Mrs. Adjei overhears him. She's the director of education for the Talented Child Fund.
Perfect timing. Her title itself signals that kind of institutional support.
Right. She immediately recognizes his exceptional voice. She talks to him, finds out he has no formal schooling, his family relies on his work.
So she makes him an offer.
An incredible one. A full scholarship for school and music lessons in Accra, the capital. And, crucially, she promises to help his family find another income source so they won't suffer.
That's amazing.
Maybe.
Does the community support this?
Fully. His father, Teta, always believed in him. The chief, Nana Kofi, basically says the village needs Osmond to succeed and represent them. So he makes the journey from rural Obain to the big city.
And Accra. Does he thrive?
It's described as a meteoric rise. He pours himself into his studies, his music, excels academically, joins the choir.
Finds collaborators?
Yes, meets Amma, a talented pianist who becomes a close friend, lands a recording deal with a big producer, Mr. Owusu. His music just connects with people. It's heartfelt, authentic.
And this leads to recognition.
Big time. He wins Best New Artist at the Ghana Music Awards. A huge honor.
But does the fame change him? That's always the question.
That's the key point, no. He remains humble, remembers Obain. He uses his platform, especially on this popular TV show, Star Talk, not to talk about himself, but to advocate for his village. He talks about the need for better schools, healthcare, roads back home.
And that has an impact.
A massive one. It creates this wonderful cycle. A philanthropist, Mrs. Adwoa Konadu, who runs Empower Ghana, hears him on the show.
And she's impressed by his humility.
Exactly. Touched by his dedication to his roots. So she funds major development projects in Obain, a renovated school, a new health center, sustainable farming programs.
Wow. So his success directly lifts the entire community.
Precisely. The themes are so clear. The need for mentorship, Mrs. Adjei, Amma, Mrs. Konadu, the fact that talent needs nurturing, and that responsibility that comes with success, using it to elevate others.
A really inspiring arc. Now let's shift focus slightly with Fly Like an Eagle. This one is more about internal transformation, right? Overcoming personal challenges.
Exactly. It's about self-belief, conquering adversity. Our main character is Memi Tutua.
Then her struggle.
It's deeply personal. She walks with a limp, and this makes her feel incredibly isolated, lonely, anxious. She thinks she's fundamentally different, tries to hide herself away.
That sounds painful. How does she start to change?
She has this aha moment. She's sitting alone, feeling sorry for herself, basically, and she watches a lone eagle soaring high above.
And that sparks something.
A huge revelation. She thinks flying alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means being brave enough to find your way. The eagle instantly becomes her symbol. Strength, resilience, self-discovery, even in solitude.
So she embraces this symbol.
Actively. She goes to a bookshop, looks for books about eagles, finds one called Majesty of Eagles, and this actually leads to a connection. She meets another girl, Akua, who's also interested in this book. So her symbol starts breaking her isolation.
And her family reinforces this.
Her father does. He gives her this crucial nuance. The eagle is strong enough to soar alone when needed, but also knows when to fly with others. It's not about total isolation, but about knowing yourself.
So she internalizes these eagle traits: focus, resilience.
Precision, yeah. And she starts applying this mindset to her biggest struggle, which is math.
Okay, how does that play out?
There's this great scene in class. The teacher, Mrs. Owusu, puts a really complex equation on the board. Everyone's stumped.
But Mammy Tatua.
Channeling that eagle focus, that quiet intensity, she tackles the problem. And she solves it easily, just like that.
Wow. Leaving everyone stunned, I imagine.
Absolutely. Teacher, classmates, everyone. Her internal struggle, like the eagle's patient hunt, leads to this public triumph, this soaring flight.
It's a beautiful metaphor.
Isn't it? It really shows how self-belief, drawing inspiration from nature even, can drive transformation and overcome limitations, physical or social. Focus and determination win the day.
That power of individual self-belief we just saw is really amplified in these next pieces, where ingenuity meets community spirit to create, well, pretty massive social change. Let's dive into A Calabash of Saha.
Right, and the urgency here is immediate. The story sets the scene in Cararaga, a village suffering badly from drought.
And the consequences.
Waterborne diseases, specifically cholera. It's a serious health crisis. Families have no choice but to use murky stream water. And for one of the main characters, Abidatu, it's personal. Her younger brother got critically ill from cholera.
So that's the motivation. Who are the innovators?
Two science students, Abidatu and her friend Abubakar. They decide to enter the Pan-African Science Festival.
And their project.
It's called Saha, which means clear water in Dagbani.
Uh-huh.
It's a sustainable, solar-powered UV water purification system.
Very clever. Using UV light.
Yes, but also integrating local materials like clay and sand for initial filtration. So it's designed to be low-cost and sustainable in their context.
Building it must have been a challenge.
Definitely. The story highlights their journey just to get one crucial part, a high-quality UV lamp. They have to travel to Tamale.
Which isn't easy.
No. The source mentions the difficult Trotto journey, those shared minibuses, often unreliable. It emphasizes the physical and financial effort involved just for one component.
Do they get help?
Yes, significantly. Abubakar's uncle, Dr. Idrisu, is a lecturer in Tamale. He doesn't just find them a discounted lamp, he mentors them.
Mentorship again.
Crucial. He introduces them to his university innovation team, AMA, an engineer, Intim, an app developer. They help refine the Saha system, get it ready for the competition. That collaboration polishes their work.
So the festival, how do they do?
They win. Big time.
Right.
Not just a trophy and scholarships, but a $10,000 grant.
Wow, that's game-changing.
It catapults them onto the national stage. They even meet the president, who calls them a shining example of Ghanaian ingenuity. It really validates the idea of local solutions getting national attention.
And the impact back in Karaga, does Saha get implemented?
Yes, that's the payoff. With the grant money and government support secured through their win, the system is installed in Karaga.
Providing clean water.
Exactly. Improving health, reducing disease. It even helps the local economy because people are healthier. They become these sort of ambassadors for Ghanaian innovation.
It's a fantastic example of collaboration and using ingenuity to solve real community problems.
Absolutely. Resilience, too, given their journey.
Okay, let's pivot now to a drama, Spreading Light. This one also involves innovation, but there's more direct conflict, right? Skepticism and antagonism.
Yes, very much so. The central idea comes from Asantewa, another science student. She's inspired by a lesson and becomes determined to bring solar electricity to her village, which is currently dark at night.
And she faces resistance.
Immediately. Her friend Idrisu just dismisses it as impossible daydreams. But maybe more hurtful is the skepticism from her own mother.
Really? Her mother?
Yeah, her mother tells her to stop the foolish notions and focus on her studies, fearing she won't amount to anything. That's tough.
And it gets worse. There's antagonism.
Oh, yes. There's a boy, Kwanzaa, who is just consumed with jealousy over Asantewa's intelligence.
And his mother gets involved.
In a really nasty way. She unjustly accuses Asantewa of trying to disgrace her son. And then she takes it further, calling her a witch.
Whoa. That's a serious accusation.
Extremely serious in many contexts. It's meant to completely undermine her standing in the community.
So how does Asantewa cope with all this negativity?
Mentorship saves the day again. Sir Ni, her teacher, becomes her champion.
Thank goodness for Sir Ni.
Right. He encourages her, tells her Edrisu will eventually come around, reminds her that big achievements often start with just one person's vision.
Does he offer practical help too?
Crucially, yes. He provides the expensive parts, solar panels, inverters, batteries, things he's apparently been collecting for years. This tangible support is vital.
And Idrisu. Does he join her?
Yes. Seeing her determination and probably Sir Ni's backing, he finally comes around. The source calls them a formidable team.
So they build the system. What happens next? The demonstration.
They finish it, and they're all set to demonstrate it at the chief's palace, the ultimate moment of validation for the village.
But Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa, driven by pure malice, sneaks in just before the demonstration. He rips out wires, steals panels, sabotages the whole thing.
Unbelievable. Does he get away with it?
No, and the resolution is quite compelling. Kwanzaa's own mother, apparently racked with guilt over the terrible witch accusation she made.
She confesses.
She breaks down, wailing, exposes her son's sabotage to the chief and the guards.
Wow. So there's justice.
Swift justice. The chief orders community service for both Kwanzaa and his mother. The system is quickly restored.
And it works.
It lights up the palace, bringing electricity and joy, proving the kids' ingenuity was right all along.
Another powerful story. Perseverance against jealousy, the critical role of mentorship.
And innovation winning out for the community's benefit, definitely.
Okay, one more in this section. A medal from Grandpa. This shifts to environmental action, individual initiative.
Right. The setting is very vivid, a Labor Day celebration at Titanic Beach near Accra.
Sounds like fun.
It's painted as this scene of intense community joy. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people, families, games, food, music, just pure celebration.
But there's a shift.
A dramatic one. As the sun sets and the crowds leave, the narrator stays behind, and they see the aftermath.
Yeah.
The beach is absolutely littered. Plastic bottles, wrappers, food waste, and the waves are just cycling it endlessly between the sand and the sea.
That's a stark image. How does the narrator react?
With immense sadness and then deep personal guilt, the sound of the sea changes for them, becomes a sad cry. The waves sound like a loud drum of reproach. They feel personally responsible for the collective mess.
And makes a vow.
A solemn vow to take action, right there on the polluted beach.
How do they act on it?
Back at school, during sanitation week, the narrator sees their chance. They approached their teacher, Mr. Alhassan, with a plan.
Which is?
A proposal. The school should organize a massive cleanup of the beach, and importantly, put up signs to encourage people to keep it clean permanently.
Does the teacher support it?
Mr. Alhassan does, and he takes it to the headmistress, Mrs. Darko. And she's the real catalyst here.
She likes the idea.
She's incredibly impressed. She publicly praises the narrator, calls them an exemplary citizen of Ghana for not just seeing a problem, but proposing a solution.
That's powerful validation.
And she acts immediately, mobilizes the entire school for the cleanup the very next day.
Oh, and they do it.
They succeed. Restore the beach, put up the environmental stewardship signs. It has a ripple effect, too. New environmental clubs start forming.
Gets public attention.
Yes, a journalist writes a story. Young champion leads beach cleanup, brings recognition, makes the family proud.
And the medal from Grandpa.
That's the beautiful closing touch. Grandpa gives the narrator a necklace, calls it a medal, but it's more about the lesson.
Which is?
He tells them, life is about taking initiatives, pursuing them, and solving society's problems. That's how we find fulfillment.
So it's about proactive citizenship. Don't just complain, do something.
Exactly. Individual initiative sparking real change.
Okay, now we're moving into some really deep human conflicts. We're talking political succession, hidden empathy, even institutional decay driven by vengeance. Let's start with the drama Dwini's Dream.
Right. This one deals with the throne of Dagani, and the core conflicts is between two royal brothers vying for it.
Tell us about them.
There's Anzansi, the younger brother. He's described as cunning, highly educated, intelligent, but with an evil heart. He uses his smarts for manipulation and deceit.
Okay, classic schemer. And the other brother?
Dwini. He's the elder brother, has a good heart, apparently, but initially he's seen as a drunkard, a fool. He lacks education, seriousness. The kingmakers are torn.
So a choice between a bad heart with a good head and a good heart with, well, issues.
Exactly. It's a tough position for the kingmakers. But there's another key figure, Alhiri.
Dwini's girlfriend.
Yes, and she's educated, intelligent, and determined to reform Dwini to make him worthy of the throne by nurturing his good character.
How does she do that? It sounds like a big task.
She comes up with a bold plan. She takes Dwini completely away from the palace temptations. They go to a distant cousin's village with the help of someone named Anfani.
To get him away from bad influences.
And to educate him. In this new, quiet environment, Dwini undergoes this complete transformation. He learns about governance, diplomacy. He realizes being king is actually so much work.
So he grows up, essentially.
He does. Alhiri's patient support turns him from this liability into a genuinely serious, capable leader.
What happens when they return?
The kingmakers give him a final chance, an audience. And Zansi, seeing his chance disappear, tries to ambush them to stop the coronation.
Does it work?
No. Dwini, with his newfound confidence and skills, actually foils the ambush. He's crowned king.
And Alhiri?
She's crowned queen right alongside him. It signals this interesting integration, modern intelligence and education joining with traditional lineage.
How's their reign? Are they tested?
Immediately, a severe drought hits the kingdom. They need to act fast, unify the people.
What do?
This is really interesting. Alhiri, the educated queen, suggests relying on tradition. She recommends performing the ancient rain dance ritual.
Oh, there is interesting. Not dismissing the old ways.
Exactly. And Dwini supports her decision, showing faith in tradition and his people. It's a key moment showing their approach, blending the modern and the traditional.
Does Nzenzi try to interfere?
He does. He calls the ritual superstitious, tries to sabotage it, but he fails. And crucially, the rain comes.
Wow. Vindicating their approach.
Completely. It confirms the wisdom of synthesizing the old and new. They lead an era of peace, prosperity.
What happens to Nzenzi?
Dwini shows remarkable wisdom here, too. Nzenzi is defeated, deeply ashamed. But Dwini welcomes him back, chooses reconciliation over division.
That speaks volumes about his character transformation.
It really does. Their legacy is secured with the birth of a son, Undi, who will continue their balanced leadership. The core theme seems to be that character, that good heart, supported by strategy and learning, is more vital for leadership than just raw intelligence.
And that transformation is possible.
With dedication and support, yes.
Okay, let's switch gears to The Family That Cared. This sounds like it explores empathy in a school setting.
Yes, and it's incredibly moving. It centers on Samuel, a boy who is poor and always hungry.
What's the situation?
He has this secret routine during break time. He sneaks away to eat a very meager meal, just some gari, sachet water, sugar hidden in a plastic bag. He's trying to hide his poverty.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Does his secret get out?
Violently, another boy, Jerry, follows him, catches him, and then mocks him mercilessly in front of the whole class.
And the class laughs.
They erupt in laughter. It's brutal public humiliation for Samuel. He's shattered.
But something unexpected happened.
Yes. Another student, Abigail, just bursts into tears. She yells at the class to stop and runs out, completely distraught.
Why does she react so strongly?
She explains later to Samuel, who's obviously shocked by her reaction. She tells him she knows what it's like. She's also experienced hunger and neglect because of a cruel stepmother who starved her.
Oh, wow. They connect over this shared pain.
Deeply. They bond under this big tree, realizing they weren't alone in their struggles. Their isolation was sort of an illusion.
And the teacher. Is she involved?
There's a fascinating layer here. The teacher, Mrs. Adjay, happens to be teaching a lesson on a story called The Family That Cared.
Talk about relevant.
Right. And she connects with it deeply because she's hiding her own pain. The source says her face, while composed, betrayed a hint of sadness. She's enduring domestic abuse at home.
So she sees her own hidden struggle mirrored in the lesson, and maybe in the kids, too.
Exactly. It adds this whole other dimension of hidden suffering.
How does the story resolve for the kids?
With a really powerful act of kindness. Jerry, the boy who mocked Samuel, feels terrible. He feels this new sense of connection, maybe guilt.
He changes.
He does. He teams up with Abigail, and the next day they bring Samuel breakfast, a proper meal.
That's wonderful.
And this single gesture sparks this huge shift in the whole class dynamic. They rally around Samuel, Abigail, and Jerry. The class transforms into this supportive, tight-knit family.
And it helped Samuel.
Immensely. His confidence grows, his grades improve. The story just beautifully shows how empathy and kindness can be transformative.
Yeah, recognizing shared struggles builds real community, real family beyond blood ties. Powerful stuff.
It really is.
Okay, finally in this section, we tackle institutional crisis in Beyond Light and Shadow. This is set in a school facing serious problems.
Cedar of Lebanon School, yes. It's basically paralyzed by this secret student group called Ash's Flame,
A cabal. What are they doing?
causing chaos, undermining discipline, leading to academic failure, and they're funded by some shadowy outside benefactors. The school's reputation is tanking.
So who's brought in to fix it?
A new head teacher, Mrs. Janet Aqua. She's known as a reformer, someone with unwavering positivity and unshakable will.
And she means business.
Absolutely. To show her commitment is total, she does something drastic.
Yeah.
She enrolled her own daughter, Tina Bells, in this failing, chaotic school.
Wow, that sends a message. Stakes are high for her personally.
A very powerful message to the community. She's all in.
And the central conflict involves her daughter.
Yes. Tina gets entangled in a forbidden romance with Benson. He's the head prefect, charismatic, popular. He's secretly the leader of Ash's Flame. And he falls deeply for Tina.
Uh-oh. His group can't be happy about that.
They're alarmed. They warn him, even bring up Samson and Delilah, the idea that love will make him betray their secrets, their loyalty.
Does Tina find out who he really is?
She senses something's wrong, pushes him for the truth, and he eventually cracks under the pressure of his feelings for her.
What does he reveal?
The group's origin story, it's quite shocking, actually. The founder was a student expelled 10 years ago for theft.
Okay.
And because of the expulsion, he was barred from taking his WASI exams, those crucial final exams that determine your whole future in West Africa.
All right, so his future was basically ruined.
Exactly. And he vowed vengeance. His goal, passed down through the group, was to destroy the school's stability, its reputation, as payback. Benson confesses they destroyed his future, so he vowed to destroy the school.
That's intense. But does the story present that as a justification? Or is vengeance just shown as destructive?
The latter, I think. Tina is horrified. She sees it as this destructive cycle of revenge. She rejects Benson because his loyalty is to this destructive cause.
And how does Ash's Flame react to Benson revealing their secret?
Violently. They feel utterly betrayed. They brutally attack Benson for breaking their codes, leaving him battered and unconscious. It's the physical manifestation of the violence the cabal represents.
Does this lead to the group being exposed?
Yes. Benson's attackers are caught. This leads investigators to the real mastermind behind the funding and coordination, someone named Necrobia. He's apprehended.
So the cabal is dismantled.
Completely. And Benson, he recovers. And in a really significant turn.
He joins the effort to fix the school.
Exactly. He joins Mrs. Aqua's Rebuilding Hope programs, using his inside knowledge and presumably his remorse to help reform the very institution he helped tear down.
So it's a story about that fight between vengeance and redemption.
Precisely. And how determined leadership, like Mrs. Aqua's, alongside community support, can overcome even deeply entrenched corruption and cycles of revenge.
Okay, let's shift gears completely for our final section. We're moving into the world of poetry. 4 quite different pieces here.
Right. And with poetry, structure and symbolism become even more critical because you have so few words to work with. Brevity demands intensity.
So we'll look at how the form reinforces the meaning. First up, the Monday breeze. Sounds relatable.
Oh, very. The theme is that universal, chaotic rush of a family trying to get out the door on a Monday morning.
I know that feeling. How does the poem capture it?
Through these frantic, almost disconnected images, blurring horns, screaming voice, running legs, it paints a picture of pure chaos.
And the structure helps.
Absolutely. The lines are short, and there's a lot of enjambment lines running into each other without pauses or punctuation. It mirrors that breathless urgency, the confusion.
Is there tension beneath the surface?
Definitely. You get hints of marital conflict, daddy yells, and then this pointed line, presumably from the mother, if you had helped me, we would have been gone. It shows how that domestic rush can really strain relationships.
Okay, next poem. A mystic figure from Ghana. Sounds like it taps into cultural heritage.
Deeply. The theme is mythology, the connection between the divine and humanity in a Ghanaian context.
And the figure.
It describes this powerful mystic figure. The associations with Okomfo Anokie, the legendary priest, are very strong here.
What does the figure do?
He calls down a stool of gold from the heavens, from the celestial halls, during the twilight's hush.
The golden stool. That's hugely significant in Ashanti culture.
Exactly. It's the core symbol. The poem calls it a treasure trove of stories yet untold. It represents power, unity, the soul of the nation, a timeless heritage gifted from a higher power.
A symbol of unity for all to see.
Precisely. The tone is one of deep reverence, cultural pride.
All right. Moving on to the unseen painter. What's the theme here?
This one is more philosophical. It explores divine creativity, but also the limits of how humans perceive the divine.
How is God depicted?
As the ultimate unseen painter, the world starts as a very white canvas. God then paints it with dark white sheets.
Day and night, sun, moon, stars.
Exactly, that cosmic cycle of creation.
But there's a critique.
A sharp one. The poet says, we men paint him too, meaning we project our own limitations, our biases, onto God.
How so?
Specifically through things like race. We try to define God as black or white or Indian or Caucasian. We apply human categories to something that should transcend them.
So the poem challenges that narrow-mindedness.
Yes. The contemplative tone asks us to consider how we limit the divine by trying to make it in our own image.
Interesting. Okay, final poem. Real Illusioned Beckley. This one sounds mysterious.
It is. It touches on urban change, lingering fear, and how local legends persist even when the landscape changes.
Where is it set?
In what the poem calls a strange known land, an industrial city suburb, it's characterized by rapid growth, new houses sprouting up.
But remnants of the old remain.
Yes, these unsettling patches of tall grasses, thinner paths that haven't been fully developed yet, places that feel a bit wild still.
And Dr. Beckley.
He lived in this quiet house that kids were always scared of. No one dared go near it.
Why? What was the legend?
The childhood fear, the local rumor was that some heads got lost in that house. Something sinister, maybe violent.
Eek. Urban legend territory.
Definitely. And the poem plays on this contrast between the rapid urbanization many houses have grown and the persistence of this specific localized fear.
And the twist.
The adult narrator, looking back, admits they can't find Dr. Beckley's home anymore. It might be gone, or maybe they just can't place it within the changed landscape.
So the illusioned memory is more powerful than the physical place.
Exactly. The fear, the legend outlasts the bricks and mortar. It highlights the power of those ingrained local stories and anxieties. #tag outro.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground today. An incredible landscape of narratives.
From Kissiwaa, the heroic drafts player, to Osman, the singing cowherd who became a star and lifted his village.
You Abadatu and Abubakar, the solar innovators fighting disease. Asantawa battling jealousy with light.
Right through to Dwini finding redemption to lead his people, and Mrs. Aqua reforming a broken school system. Not to mention the insights from the poems.
So looking across all of this, are there threads that connect them? What's the big picture here?
One thing that really stands out, I think, is a recurring pattern. Success, especially transformative success, often happens when modern vision or innovation is grounded in, or at least respectful of, tradition and community values.
That's interesting. Can you give examples?
Think about Kissiwaa. Her modern determination needed old soldiers' traditional moral authority and strategic wisdom to really succeed against Bediako in the old ways,
Okay.
or Dwini and Alhiri. The educated queen recognized the power of the ancient rain dance ritual to unify the kingdom during the drought. They needed both modern governance and traditional faith.
And the innovators, Abidatu and Abubakar.
Their modern solar UV technology was integrated with traditional local materials like clay and sand to make it sustainable in Karaga. It wasn't just imposed from outside.
So it's about integration, not just replacement.
Exactly. The Nyamidua tree in Kissiwaa's story figures like old soldier, Cerny, even a Larry who bridges tradition and modernity. They represent this kind of foundational support system, a safe space, a guiding structure.
Like an anchor.
Yes. These stories seem to argue that real, stable progress comes from integrating that forward-looking, innovative impulse with the wisdom and support structures already present in the community or tradition.
So a final thought for our listeners to take away from this deep dive.
Well, think about that tension. In almost every story, the triumph involves some kind of alliance, or at least a negotiation, between the new and the old, the individual vision, and the community context.
So the challenge is?
Maybe ask yourself, in whatever you're working on, are you trying to completely overthrow tradition? Or are you looking for the traditional foundations, the community wisdom, that can actually anchor your revolution and make it stick?